crime. From cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. We're back. It's Jay with Guilty of Crime. We're doing Deception Detective style. And boy, did we get lucky today. We got lucky because Sebastian Rogers, there's a lot of new information or supposed information. And first, I was going to play the explosive audio that Chris Proudfoot made quite a fool of himself and acted like a bully after he said that he was no longer going to do interviews. And I scheduled the episode, and then I hit Mr. DD up, and I saw that he did the video and ripped him to shreds in Deception Detective style. So I have that for you. Of course, we're all talking today about Sebastian, so we're going to talk about the sighting of him and a few other things that I might get into. There's also some new footage that Jay for Justice has. Good evening, Anna. Greetings from Illinois. Hello, Gigi. Everybody that's here, thank you so much. I love you and I appreciate you. I also want you to know we did a video yesterday and it was fantastic. However, Jenny Esquivel didn't feel like it represented Maddie the way it should. There was way too many comments that were negative and we had to put it on members only. So we love you, Jenny. Please don't stop coming to our show. It's not our fault. None of the crime crew would ever do that. A lot of trolls in chat, a lot of people in comments said really bad things. So it's on members only. If you're a member, go to the members only. Watch that video. It was fantastic. And I also have some news for you on Madeline Soto. I've got the roommate. You're going to hear her voice. She's going to do a pre-record. She doesn't want to get blasted, but we will record her and I'll bring that to you. So hello to everybody. Hello, Maya. Thank you, Gothic Bree. And guess what? If you don't like me asking for people to like and subscribe, just read the button down there. The only reason I do that is so that we can get in the algorithm and help more people that are missing. Help solve cases, talk about solved cases. So I read a lot of comments. I'm going to stay away from the bad ones, but I am going to say, Amy, let's do a DD style. First, I'm going to start with a couple of quick clips. You guys can talk about it in chat. Tell me what you think. And then we're going to see why in the heck did Chris do what he did. All right, I'll stop this for a second. We always love Evil Exists. He gets to the point and he tells it like it is. Let me fix my camera. I think if I scoot this way, it'll be better. Okay. Thank you, Gothic Bree. Hope you guys get a membership. Everybody's asking if they can get a membership, and I hope you do. I hope Bree, she can't pick who gets a membership, but she was very kind to do that. So let's get you membership so you can watch that video with us. Let's listen to this. Tell me what you think in chat since it's the topic of the day.
Rogers, a 15-year-old boy, vanished allegedly from his home and has not been seen since. His mother, who was last with him, left the home and went hours away. She is also not in the forefront pleading for Sebastian to return home, but interviews are rather run by the stepfather who wasn't even home when Sebastian vanished. So, for those of you following the Sebastian Rogers case, I'm sure you are already aware of the photos floating around of a boy that looks just like him. If not, go check out my previous video before watching this one. In this video, I want to discuss the same image, but focus on the woman standing nearby the boy. She is wearing pink. According to the original poster, this boy looked comfortable with the people he was with, and it was clear he knew them well. He wasn't in distress. So, the internet began looking closely at this woman, and if anyone recognized her. Some were saying that it's Seth's sister and posted this picture of them standing together at the vigil for Sebastian. Well, the picture of this boy is still being investigated. Chris said almost straight away that it's not him. He didn't even wait for an investigation to be done or anything. He's sure it's not Sebastian. Katie says she saw the picture, and it's being investigated to be 100% sure. Seth's mother spoke out saying that Seth has people investigating it. She also said that this picture of the lady with Seth was taken at the vigil. She confirmed that the lady is not Seth's sister. She has no direct contact with the family. So, is this just a bizarre coincidence that their hair looks the same and a similar type of top on?
All right, folks, I'm going to go back to that picture real quick, and you guys tell me what you think. I will try to pause it on that picture right there. There it is, folks. All right. Thank you for all of the love from everybody. I appreciate you so much. I need more purple, huh? Well, thank you. I have lots of purple, everybody. And I should be wearing green. I should be sporting all the colors for everybody. Thank you so much. Some of you may know or may not. My roof fell in and I lost most of my clothes. So as I go, I will definitely buy new clothes with lots of purple. All right, folks. What do you think? I think that it's not Sebastian. I think if it is, the hair's dyed. I think Sebastian's hair, it looks black. His hair is his hair is blonder. This kid looks taller, slimmer, and a little bit more broad shoulders. So you guys let me know what you think. I should do one. I don't like asking for stuff, but sometimes it happens. Now, what about their surveillance video? I was waiting for somebody to ask that, and hopefully I can address that at the end of the show. Well, it won't be an end. I have time for you today, so I agree. He looks very mature and muscular. I do not think this is Sebastian, and if it was, I think the family member would come forward. I think it looks similar, but I think people are just trying to make something relevant that's not. I don't think it's him either, and I'm glad that my crime crew and the people in this chat have common sense and logic, and they understand. There's a lot of people that will meet me and they'll say, hey, have I met you before? You look exactly like. So a lot of people look alike. I don't think that's him. But the problem with this is that the way Chris addressed this and Katie addressed this was like, nope. It's like, how did they know it's not? And the cameras, people, there's cameras on their house. The cameras, I got a big problem with those cameras that we're going to talk about after we listen to his bully interview. I have a big problem with his interview and how he bullied those people. There you go. We should do a Photoshop layover. I do not think that's him. And I could show a different picture, but that's not Sebastian. That's the kid. We can get to that. We're going to watch another video. So this is not the topic of today. I am going to play the J for Justice video at the end. I downloaded it. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I am going to do about 10 minutes because I knew that you folks would want to see it. And I try to bring you what you want to see. So I have 2 Yorkies now, folks. 2 of them. And somebody called me a bad dog mom the other day. I was pretty upset about that. My dog wanted to get in my office and be with you guys while I was filming, and I just couldn't get up. He wasn't locked in anywhere. He was in the house playing with his sister, my daughter, and he couldn't get in because I have these big doors. So I got up and I let him in, but he wasn't crying to get out. I think I'm the best dog mom and the best mom on this planet. And I'll say that loud and proud. All right, let's go to the next. Video that I'm going to show you. We're showing bits and pieces of things, and then we're going to get to the DD video. Oh, only because Yeah, only because I want to discuss really, really badly that dang interview, man. That dang interview is it's just too much. All right. So here's this one. And yeah, all eyes are pointing at Chris, which shows me that they're taking the spotlight off Katie, who was the last person. In my next show, folks, I'm going to talk a lot more about Katie. But what I do want you to know right now is that I did background checks on both of them. I've been looking into her. And what I've been realizing is that she's using Chris as a shield. Listen to this.
Chris Proudfoot, Sebastian Rogers' stepfather, has displayed multiple inconsistent statements and red flags. From admitting to hitting Sebastian with a belt on more than one occasion to throwing his belongings in the trash because he would clean up his room. It's all very worrying, but the thing that bothered me the most is Chris's tone and extreme anger he displayed in an interview just days ago. We've never seen that unhinged side of him, and it got many of us thinking if he behaves that way online for the world to see, how does he behave behind closed doors? What has Chris and Katie really done to find Sebastian? Chris is...
What do you think about that, folks? If he behaves like that in person or on an interview and he bullies a bunch of ladies the way he did, how do you think he acts behind the scenes, folks? Think about that. What a bully. I literally wanted to throat punch him for those poor ladies. I was very upset. I'm not violent. I'm just saying I was very upset, and you'll know why soon.
At the forefront of every interview, but he wasn't even home when Sebastian went missing. Why isn't Katie screaming from the rooftops for her son? Why is she rather not on social media talking about Sebastian, his behavior before he went missing, etc.? Because she was the last person with him, only she would have some of the answers. Chris also stated that Sebastian was happy, as seen in the video footage of him leaving the roadhouse. Nothing seemed amiss. He said Sebastian ate all his food. Once again, how would he know? He wasn't there. Another thing Katie probably told him, why is she not talking out herself? What is she afraid of? Or is that Chris's orders? Looking at Chris's Facebook page, how many posts about Sebastian do you see? His latest post says, do not flip your phone. It's one of those if you don't repost this, something bad will happen to you type of crap. What a weird thing to post when his stepson is missing. Facebook is such a good tool to spread the word about Sebastian, especially his page, since everyone knows he is the stepdad, and has been online doing interviews and stuff. About the interviews though, it seems that Chris is more concerned about public opinion, and that's why he keeps doing them.
All right. Again, what do you think about that? This man is just, I believe Katie's hiding behind him. We've seen what a bully he was. If you haven't heard the interview, you're going to hear it now. We're going to rip him to shreds. Yes, folks, we're at 247 people in chat. If you can hit that like button for me while we're in between videos and while we're talking, I'd always appreciate it. I love every single one of you. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm not sure if that says Marissa MDG, but Lori P, you're the best. I love all these dog pictures here. And Sadie's mama. We love the crime crew. Sleuth cat was crying. yeah, the cat was crying. Definitely a hothead, folks. And now we're going to get into that. We've got one more short clip. Hopefully at some point we could work with Mr. CJ. I'd love to do that. Hopefully Carly can hook that up for us. No pressure, dear Carly. Thank you, Anna Bernadette. I appreciate it so very much, more than you all know. So, all right. You know, I do this channel every day. I love you all. I try to keep the love, and yet I still get things that just I don't think any of us deserve. Jenny is just such an amazing woman, and none of those things were deserved. So if you're in my chat and you're part of the crime crew, you're welcome to be mods from the outside and put those people in check. I give you full reign of that, okay? And not the mama. It's remember, y'all, it's me, Jess the mess. All right. One more thing. Hey, hi, Jay. After seeing the Ruckus video on Jay for Justice, I know what Chris and Katie did. I hope you see. I did see it, and I want to play it at the end if all of you guys want me to. All right. Thank you, Stephanie Blah, Biddy Blah. I love you all. All right. I got one more small clip that you have to see, and then I am going to get into that video. And sorry, you already heard that one. Then we're gonna rip this bully to shreds. I'm being as professional as I possibly can by saying that I can't wait to hear what he says, because this is just, it's too much for me. Sorry about that. I'm not on my complete A game today, but I'm doing my best. I think after last night and getting phone calls at 5 o'clock in the morning asking me to pull down the video, it just really it kind of hurt my soul a little bit, folks. I don't think that people understand that I put my heart and soul into this channel, and I love what I do, and I try to be respectful and just put out love for everybody. Thank you, Gigi. I'm doing this because I love what I do, and I try to put out and get back what I put out. And if I go to the store, I say hi to that checker. I ask how she's doing. I try to be such a good person, and sometimes the good people get shit on, like Mr. Sebastian. That little guy didn't deserve any of this. All right, let's listen to this, and then we're gonna get on to the shreds.
Interview that's got the internet buzzing is the one that Chris Proudfoot did with web sleuths. It was absolutely heated, especially with Seth Rogers joined the panel. Chris clearly wanted to dominate and control the conversation. He screamed over others, and even called Seth names. It was absolutely ridiculous, and I can't imagine how he talked down to Sebastian, if this is how he behaves for the world to see. Just disgusting. Chris tried to clear up some rumors that are going around, and one question he was asked by Seth's PI really grabbed my attention. He was asked what he thinks happened to Sebastian. First, he said he doesn't know. Then the PI pushed a little more, saying just his knee-jerk reaction. What does he think happened? His answer surprised me. He said Sebastian walked out the front door, onto the porch, and then vanished into thin air. He said he knows Sebastian went out to the front porch and vanished. That is what he thinks because that is what he knows. How would he know that? Chris then explained that all the other doors in the house had a key to open and lock. They were all locked when Katie got up that morning. The front door, however, never needed a key. It had a keypad. Chris says the most conceivable way that this makes sense is that Sebastian walked out the front door and vanished. But then how did no cameras in the area pick him up?
Now I have to stop at that because I wanted to say something to you people here. I've heard this scenario over and over and over. Why do Chris and Katie and their family keep saying that Sebastian walked out the front door? They keep insisting that Sebastian walked out the front door. How do they know he walked out the front door, and why does that scenario keep coming up? Why are they insisting on it? Does somebody know? Does anybody know why they're saying that? Then they say all the doors were locked, but he walked out the front door. There's a keypad, but he walked out the front door, but he didn't take his shoes. And then the flashlights. How do they know that the flashlights weren't something else? We'll talk about that at the end. Again, I like bringing the facts, but when I see some interesting things going on, I don't get it. I don't get it, and I have to know. Yeah, he never just walked out. But who said that? Katie was there. Why does Chris keep talking? What? Why? I don't understand.
It was said that the neighbor's camera picked him taking the trash out the night before. So why not now? If he walked out the front door. Chris says the cameras can sometimes miss things if it's too dark. I don't know about that. What about a dog scent? He walked out of the house and went where? He cannot just vanish. Also, Chris adds that he left the house with no shoes on. He only had a few pairs of shoes, and all of them were accounted for. He was growing, so he only had a few pairs. To be honest, it makes it even more unbelievable that they think Sebastian just walked out the front door and vanished. That seems even more unlikely in my opinion. Those keypads, don't they make a noise when pressed?
All right. Guess what? They do make a noise when they're pressed, and I'll tell you why. And this is why I keep changing my camera, because I got this new setup, everybody, and this new setup is I got this huge screen and I'm trying to get the camera right. So bear with me on this. A lot of people are saying a lot of different things. Yeah, ton of smoke and mirrors. Hello, Gina Stone. Hello to the mods. Love this channel. We love you. As long as you're here to be respectful and talk things out, we're happy to agree to disagree. If we disagree, we're okay with it. Just be respectful, everybody. Who works for an alarm company and doesn't have one? Who doesn't have a bunch of cameras? Who doesn't hear the keypad? Who knows their son walked out of the door, but yet, how do you know? All right. I love you all. You guys are so amazing. There's such, I just, so much love. And this is why I do this. All right. Here we go, folks. This is the main freaking event. All right. Let's get to the main event. Let's listen to this bully these ladies. All right. It makes me mad. It's probably going to piss you off too. Let's listen to him get ripped to shreds by none other than Deception Detective.
Here, Web Sleuth is letting him ramble on and on.
All right.
They're starting to see some red flag statements. A, because this interview is actually allowing him to talk, unlike Nancy Grace and unlike the news reporter who he analyzed, where they continuously fed the responses to him or asked close.
Okay,
We're starting to see some red flag statements. A, because this interview is actually allowing.
So I want to tell you on Thursday, we're going to play this. We're going to do this video on Thursday without Deception Detective. And we're going to listen to the whole thing and we're going to dissect it ourselves. I'm going to have you guys come comment. Maybe we'll have you come up. Yeah, Deception Detective. I shout that man out all the time and I'll post this on his channel. All right, let's go. It's time.
Him to talk, unlike Nancy Grace and unlike the news reporter who he analyzed, where they continuously fed the responses to him or asked closed binary yes/no questions, which didn't allow him to elaborate. But here, Web Sleuth is letting him ramble on and doing it, I think, late at night while he's angry, which is great. Do innocent people ever explode out of frustration, or is that something?
Yes, do innocent people, that's a question. Do innocent people explode and tell you things that are more than they should? I also want to thank Bertha Seraphine that just sent me a $50 Cash App. Bertha, if you're on here and you're watching, put your comment down here and please let me know who you are so I can shout you out on the show. Bertha Seraphine, thank you so much for the $50 Cash App. I love each and every single one of you. Thank you so much. All right.
Only guilty people do, perhaps to scare off sleuths from digging deeper. Hello, detectives. I'm Deception Detective. I'm an attorney trained in statement analysis, and this channel exists to expose lies and manipulation. We're at almost 100,000 subscribers, so if this is your first time here, please hit subscribe. And if you're a regular, thank you for subscribing. Make sure to hit like if you want more like this. Today, we'll analyze part of Chris Proudfoot's interview with Web Sleuth to determine if he has guilty knowledge. This video is part of my Sebastian Rogers series. That link, as well as the link to the Web Sleuth's original video, is in the description. I've not watched this interview before, but multiple DD4 members sent it to me this morning because it happened just 14 hours ago. So without further ado, let's listen.
And we will always be polite to our guests. Okay, so who do we have here? Who do we have here? I've put you on the platform.
You have me, Chris.
Hi, Chris Proudfoot.
Hello.
I really appreciate you coming here. I'm going to change the banner really quickly so everybody knows it's you. But I don't know how long you've been listening.
Long enough.
Okay, you sound angry. Talk to me.
Well, very.
Talk to me. We don't want to get you. The last thing we want to do, Chris, is cause problems between you and Seth. I swear to God.
Well,
So
I understand that, but let me help you with something.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of the information that I've been listening to on your show, coming from Chloe, the questions that are coming through people, it's very sickening and disgusting, to be personally honest with you.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So let me go ahead and address a few things to help y'all out.
Okay.
And Chloe, you're the PI. I haven't had a chance to talk to you. You haven't even called me.
For context, it looks like Web Sleuth was doing a live talking about the case, and they had a private investigator named Chloe on the call. So this wasn't a prearranged interview with Chris Proudfoot, from what I understand here. It seems like he was watching their live stream and called in to defend himself, and he seems very upset. And this is something we've seen before on the channel. If you've seen my series on Summer Wells, a little girl who went missing, and her parents spent a lot of time monitoring social media, watching YouTube live streams, watching Facebook lives, and actually calling in and doing belligerent phone calls with influencers. And I believe that those parents were guilty. So the fact that Chris is calling into a show when you expect him to be doing something more productive towards finding his son, like maybe doing a polygraph, which he still hasn't done. So whether or not you think polygraphs are particularly useful, it's still something you'd expect an innocent parent to do, just so the police can feel more confident ruling them off the suspect list and allocating more resources somewhere else.
Now, remember, I'm reminding you folks that came in, we have 488 people. Chris said that he wasn't going to, I should be facing the camera. I'm sorry. Chris said that he wasn't going to do any more. I can't figure out where the camera is on right now. Sorry about that, guys. Chris said he wasn't going to do any more interviews, and he still did. He called into the show. He's got a lot to say, and I'm not sure if I didn't get to see that, but he said he wasn't going to. He did it, and I do think he did pass the polygraph. I think he's going to talk about it here, and thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys can see me, and yeah, I'm doing the best I can with my setup, guys, so let's keep going. He said he was not going to do any more interviews, and listen to this guy. This did not make him look good.
So instead of doing stuff like that, he's calling into YouTube shows. Does this mean he's guilty? No.
You ain't done anything, first off.
Heather has
Heather
been
is the only one. Heather is the only one who has reached out to me or to my wife.
I
So for you to
actually
sit on
reached
this
out to
show
you
and sit
a
here
month
and
or
give
so ago.
information that you have, that you don't have all the answers to, is a problem.
Okay, well, Chris, help us understand, because I know Chloe, and Chloe wants to help. And the last thing Chloe would do is want to put out misinformation. And the problem
Okay,
is,
I understand it. So let me just smash something real quick.
okay,
Okay, first and foremost, anything that goes on between me and my wife is not a damn bit of anybody's personal business. I don't care what you think. I don't care what y'all got to say. That'd be like me splashing all your business out to the world.
Another thing that's a similarity between Don Wells and Chris Proudfoot is they seem to be very aggressive with women. But when it comes to being interviewed by men, they either run away or they act like little lambs, like we saw Don Wells do with Dr. Phil. I did 3 videos about that interview. I've also invited Don Wells to do an interview with me and never heard back.
Now, folks, if you know who Don Wells is, we just covered that, the Summer Wells case. Listen, guys, he's comparing Chris Proudfoot to Don Wells. You got to know that's bad. You got to know he thinks something. And yes, I can't stand the sound of him. He makes my skin crawl, and I want to grab him through there, through the show. Yeah, this guy is just completely trying to bash and control these ladies. Patricia Ross, hello, good day from down under. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, I hope all of you ladies are liking and not liking what he's saying, because he's really, I think they handle it very well. But look at their faces. He's just bashing on them.
And in my earliest videos, in fact, in all 3 videos I've done about Sebastian Rogers, I've invited the Proudfoots to do an interview with me, and I've not heard back from either of them. And the thing is, I even did 2 videos on my second channel, DD Forum, which just reached 1,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone who subscribed there, about how I think that it's more likely statistically that Sebastian Rogers ran away than had his parents do something cold-blooded to him. So I've given them every benefit of the doubt. I've not been aggressive towards them. I've invited them to an interview with me, but they still refuse and ignore my entreaties. And I think that's because Chris, kind of like Don Wells, is a chauvinist, and he thinks that women are going to be easier to fool, perhaps, easier to control, and easier to bully. And you can see a lot of that here. He doesn't care if Chloe's a private investigator or that Web Sleuth is an influencer on YouTube. He's lecturing them the same way he would lecture a child. And this is typical of chauvinists.
Does anyone think he talks to Katie like that? You guys think that's why she sits there in the interviews and just kind of looks down and doesn't say anything? She looks off to the side. Can you imagine if he talks like this to these ladies, how he talks? Absolutely. To Not that Katie was there. Katie supposedly was there. So I'm not giving her a pass by any means. Don't watch part of this and then come at me and say that I'm an advocate for Katie. I absolutely know she was the last person with him. And I'm just saying, if he talks like this, yeah, you nailed it, Tamra. Tamra, I don't even know how to say it. I'm going to call you Tamra D. You absolutely nailed it. He's probably worse.
Okay.
It does.
And just one more point about that. Just because someone is a chauvinist or is unlikable, or in the case of Amanda Knox or Nicole Kessinger or other unlikable people we've covered on my channel, it doesn't mean they are criminals. That's a very important point. So just because someone's unlikable doesn't mean we can conclude, okay, he was strict to Sebastian, he's mean, he's being rude to these women, he must have killed Sebastian. That is not a leap we can make logically. There's plenty of unlikable people, of rude, chauvinistic assholes who did not kill their children.
It's funny because you hardly ever hear DD cuss or say things like that. He's really mad at this one. He now, if you go back to Deception Detective and you watch his progression of these people, he was a little bit hesitant at first because he didn't get to talk to them and he wasn't sure. He didn't want to like step on their toes and say they did anything wrong. But boy, if you watch the progression of his videos from when he started it till now, he is not holding back, folks.
So we're starting to see some
Hold on.
private investigator, or that Web Sleuth is an influencer on YouTube. He's lecturing them the same way he would lecture a child.
I went a little too far. Sorry.
Which is still statistically unlikely, or an accident befell him. And if you've seen my video that I did on my second channel using AI to find missing children, you'll know about the case of Harley Dilly, who I think was in a similar situation to Sebastian, where his parents weren't the best parents in the world. He was a little bit different than the normal kid, and he would run away from his house from time to time. And on one occasion, he got stuck in a chimney of an abandoned house. So a house, he would go down the chimney and go hang out there while he was skipping school. And he got stuck in the chimney on one occasion. Everyone blamed the parents. Everybody was suspected the parents because they seemed to have been, not the best parents in the world, sort of like the Proudfoots. But it turned out that their poor parenting might have been a contributing factor to a tragedy, but they didn't plan it or orchestrate it. And that is why I think Web Sleuth is saying that Chris and Katie's parenting style or their relationship or the situation in that house is important because it could have contributed to Sebastian either.
And I think you guys could be right. I think you could be onto something. I think Mr. Deception Detective could be onto something. I think there's a possibility they could not be together that long. You saw recently on patrol, Katie did her own thing, and she did a video without him. And at that time, she had emotion. She talked more freely. If that happens, we're going to hit the jackpot with information, folks.
Running away or coming in contact with predators. Let's say they had lots of strange men coming through the house, and one of them spotted Sebastian, decided he would come back one day, maybe knock on the window and have Sebastian come out and then kidnap him. So what went on in the house is important, whether you think they killed Sebastian or you think that he ran away or you think a predator came or any number of options. The way he was raised and what was going on in the house could be a contributing factor to any number of options. And that's why it's important.
I swear to you, it's not to be nosy. It's not to be rude. It's just trying to figure out what happened to Sebastian. And
Okay, so let me make this even crystal clear for you.
okay,
And everybody out there that's got all these negativity, disgusting comments and questions that y'all think you know anything about, when honestly, you don't know a damn thing.
This is an interesting statement. So did you spot it? Let's keep listening and then we'll come back to that.
And that's the problem. You assume, you speculate, all this crap. You have no idea what me, my family, my wife, everybody involved is going through, to include Seth, his mom, and everybody else.
So one of his criticisms, and we've seen this in a lot of cases, and in fact, it's another similarity to Don Wells. So if you haven't seen that series, I'll link it in the description below. It's one of my most popular series. He is looking down on Web Sleuths and the PI because they don't know what happened, right? They're just guessing, they're speculating. But as far as he knows, he also doesn't know anything. So how is it that he can look down on them for not knowing anything if he's also not supposed to know anything? It's like if I know a secret and I'm smugly looking at everybody who doesn't know my little secret and thinking how stupid they are because they don't know, right? If I bought some crypto coin and I know it's going to shoot up and I know everyone else doesn't know about it, and I'm standing smugly in the corner of the room thinking they all don't know. So this is interesting that this is one of his, one of the ways he belittles them is that they don't know what happened. He
Now, listen, if they don't know what happened, how does he know what happened if he wasn't there? And did he make it crystal clear for anybody? Anybody at all? Do they know what happened now? Do you guys know? He walked out of the front door, no shoes. Chris knows he wasn't there, but because he cusses and he talks loud, everybody should believe him. What a pig.
should be in the same boat as them. Now, if they're saying, I didn't watch the rest of this, right? I just came to the part where Chris Proudfoot joined the call. Let's say they were saying theories that he and Kate might have done something to Sebastian, right? Or they're being very sensational and very, fantastical about what could have happened at his expense. I can understand his frustration, but I still wouldn't expect him to belittle them for not knowing what happened. He shouldn't know either. In fact, he wasn't there when Sebastian went missing. So the fact that he shows zero curiosity about what might have happened is a red flag. It's the red flag of a hoax. For all he knows, Katie might have done something to Sebastian, might have accidentally knocked him on the head with a pan when she lost her temper and then hit his body. And they called him and told him Sebastian ran away. But he shows zero curiosity about what happened, zero curiosity about Katie, and that typically is the red flag of a hoax. We saw it in the McCann case when Kate went into the room and Madeline was allegedly kidnapped, and then Jerry had zero suspicion about her. The Summer Wells case. Summer went missing allegedly when it was just her and her mom and her grandma. Don Well comes home, his daughter's missing. He has zero curiosity about the mom or the grandma or what happened. And Chris Proudfoot seems to be following that same pattern of zero curiosity about what actually happened. And one of the best inferences we can make when a parent of a missing child has zero curiosity about what happened is that they know what happened. Whether they were in on the planning of it or if the other parent confided in them and they decided to script.
Now, all of you that are here, you know, you've been watching this with me. You've been with the crime crew for how many months now? How many parents have we seen that have no interest in the case and then come to find out that they're actually guilty of something? They have guilty knowledge and they're not necessarily the most innocent people. So what Deception Detective is saying is he's been around the block. He's seen it. You've all seen it. We all know the way Chris is acting is not a loving parent. He even corrects them when they call him the stepfather. He calls himself a father, and he corrects them and says, they correct him and say, well, you're the stepfather. And he's like, well, I love him just as much. I don't think so, folks. The way he talks about him and the things that I've heard, I don't think so. I think he's just trying to get his own self, blow up his ego, and make these. Look at the lady's face right here. Unbelievable.
The rest of their story and keep the secret between them. So let's listen to that again, because that's probably the most telling statement he's made yet.
Just even crystal clear for you.
Okay.
And everybody out there that's got all these negativity, disgusting comments and questions that y'all think you know anything about, when honestly, you don't know a damn thing.
How does he know they don't know anything? He wasn't there.
Right.
How does he know who people who have speculations about how Katie disciplined Sebastian are speculations about the alleged flashlights that were seen? Or Katie waking up in the night or questioning that story? How does he know they don't know anything? See, we always speak based on everything we know. And when people's tempers are flared up, that's usually when they slip up. And if you see,
How does he know they don't know? Carl, I'm talking to you specifically. You say no crime was committed. How do you know no crime was committed? Would you feel that way if your son was missing for over 2 months? Would you feel that no crime was committed if your son was gone that long? Or if your brother or your nephew or your family was gone for over 2 months? Do you think that you would feel there's no crime? Or would you think, oh, it's okay, they walked off, we'll find them later? There's absolutely some crime that happened. Somebody kidnapped him, that's a crime. Somebody found him out somewhere and they took him, that's a crime. Somebody hurt him, that's a crime. There's no way he just walked off and died in the woods, folks. Somebody did a crime to that child. There's no way you're going to tell me that. And whatever was done to him it wasn't an accident, okay? Unless they find him. Well, actually, they've been searching. They've been looking in the water to see if he drowned. They've been doing dives all day long. There's a crime going on. And believe me, these crime sleuths here have helped solve many cases, the ones that aren't trolling. And there would be so many resources running around doing all of this stuff if there wasn't something that happened to that young boy. That makes me mad.
See my first video in my Summer Wells series called Can People Project Their Guilt? You'll see Don Wells have lots of flare-ups, just like Chris is having here, where he reveals some very, very disturbing things, some of the most disturbing things we've covered on the channel about his views on women, his views on his daughter in particular, and her sexuality. So if you haven't watched that, I'll also link that video. And Chris seems to be following that same pattern.
And that's the problem. You assume, you speculate, all this crap. You have no idea what me, my family, my wife, everybody involved is going through, to include Seth, his mom, and everybody else.
Okay.
Because it's the vile, disgusting crap that comes out of people's mouth. Yes, I'm a very pissed off stepfather to this whole situation.
Okay. And I understand, and I hear what you're saying.
You guys tell me you don't feel proud of this lady. She is doing us some justice, folks. Maria Gutierrez, I appreciate you being in agreement. This lady makes me very proud. When you get a lady like that I say is a lady, she has class, and you got some man yelling at you, some chauvinistic pig of a man yelling at you, and you come back and you say something and you calm them down and you get them to talk, that's class in my opinion. And I look up to this private eye 110%. And you all should too. She's a somebody to look up to for all of us. This is how we handle things, folks, with class.
But again,
so let me help y'all something.
Okay.
Y'all said some shit that's really, it's really none of your damn business, but since you brought it up, I'm gonna clear it.
Okay.
My parents didn't go to Alaska 2 days after he went missing.
I don't think
Why my
anybody said
parents
that.
went to Alaska was because my stepfather went for work.
Okay, nobody said they went 2 days after he went
Oh
missing.
no,
They
it's
said-
out there. Trust me, because I have.
Okay, I
terabytes.
did not say that.
Nobody
say
said that
you.
here.
I
Okay.
said people.
Okay.
Now I have terabytes.
So now he's chastising these women for stuff other people have said.
Yes, he's chastising them. And when you start talking about stuff that's outside of the scope of what anyone's talking about, you're telling your own secrets, people. Carl, I never said Seth Rogers was so clean, nor did I say anybody was in the clear. I said there has been a crime that's happened to this young boy. This young boy is missing for over 2 months. A crime has happened. People don't disappear. That's what I said.
So imagine how many YouTubers he's watching, how he's monitoring what's going on online. And this is something we typically see guilty parents do. For example, Letitia Stouch did this. In my opinion, the Wells are guilty. They did this. They monitored social media. Did you see Gannon Stouch's biological mom monitoring social media? The
Yes.
reason guilty people sit around watching social media
Yes.
is because they're insecure. They know they're guilty. They want to monitor. What do they know? Have they found anything? What holes in my story are they figuring out that I need to plug up? Or in this case, what things are they saying that I can try to bully them into into quit talking about? And this getting people riled up at a certain point is a technique. So if you have a copy of the deception deck, it is something that you can use to get the truth out of people. You have to use it judiciously. And there's 4 techniques I recommend in the deception deck. And maybe I'll just read that card for you here. So if you're not familiar, the deception deck is my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and deception. And the card I'm going to read today is called Uncooperative Subjects. When dealing with uncooperative subjects, a key tactic is to increase their cognitive load. The stress of lying combined with increased mental demand can significantly disrupt a liar's thought process. Effective techniques include 1. Surprise, asking unexpected questions that someone fabricating a story is unlikely to have anticipated. 2. Detail, probing for intricate details that are often omitted in a fabricated narrative. 3. Reversal, requesting the subject to recount their story in reverse chronological order. And 4. Speed, demanding quick responses and imposing penalties for hesitation. These methods can effectively unbalance a deceitful individual, revealing potential inconsistencies in their account. So these are 4 techniques to increase cognitive load, like getting someone angry or riled up, or having them.
Guess what, folks? In a little bit, he talks about being drunk and people saying that he's drunk and so forth. This man's calling himself out. He called in late at night. Deception detective calls it out. The best time to get someone to tell the truth is at night when they're really tired. And he did that. He made his own trap for himself. So just keep listening, folks. You're on the right track.
Do their interview late at night when they're more likely to be tired is a great way to hit someone when they're more stressed and their cognitive load is heavier and they're more likely to slip up. And that might be what's happening here.
Of videos of Seth on here saying some foul stuff. I've got videos of everybody and their comments out here.
But
Trust me, what I'm bringing to you is not that I'm just pulling stuff out of the air.
I understand. No, and Chris, I'm glad you cleared that up. That's a
So,
good.
by the way, they didn't go for a month.
Okay.
They went for 2 weeks. My stepdad went on business. My mom went with him, but it's really nobody's business.
Well, but Chris, let me, and please understand. I swear to God, I'm coming from a place of understanding because I've been doing this for years. Okay. Here's the thing: when you ask the public for help, they're going to look at everything.
And I'll stop with that for a second. That's absolutely correct. If you ask the public for help, folks, you're going to get everything from all over the place, whether you like it or not. Now, Jackie, we don't know if he's in North Carolina. We don't know. It hasn't been confirmed. That's still a crime. I do want you to know I love you, Jackie, but you can't hide somebody and let the whole world spend resources on looking for a child and not say anything. A crime has still been committed here. If they're hiding him, it's still a crime and they have to be accountable for it. So that is a crime to hide somebody without saying something. And remember, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow, where are the children? You can't hide kids.
And try and figure out what happened to Sebastian. And let me tell them, from an outsider looking in, it's okay. His parents left town shortly after. Was there a reason? Did they take Sebastian with him? It is speculation that I am sorry it's hurtful to you, and I understand it.
So this lady, I need to find out what Webb Sleuth's background is, because she's doing a great job keeping him on the call. She's keeping a level head, and she's getting him to continue talking. And that's what we need to actually figure out if someone has guilty knowledge. We need their statements. And it's part of the reason why I've been so forgiving of the Proudfoots, because I wanted to interview them myself to demonstrate my interview technique with a live subject. So Chris and Katie, if you are watching, I would still like to interview you. I still don't think you necessarily did anything to Sebastian. It might have just been a tragedy of a situational tragedy. And I'm willing to extend the benefit of the doubt, as I mentioned in these videos, especially this one using math to solve true crimes.
Oh,
However, because you've not done an interview with me, I'm relying on analyzing other interviews. And so far, we've seen the first red flag statement, as far as I'm concerned in this case, which was when he belittled them for not knowing what happened. The implication of which is that he does know what happened and they're wrong. If you're in the same boat as people, same boat of ignorance, I wouldn't expect you to insult other people for being ignorant. In fact, if they had theories about Katie or his parents or Seth, I would expect him to be interested in those theories rather than trying to shut them down.
And that's why it's important that you clear it up. Just clear it up. Nobody's trying to be hurtful or mean. I promise you, we've all been asked to help find Sebastian. And this is what we do. We try and think outside the box. We try and ask questions and think outside the box and figure out what has gone on. It is not
with thinking outside of the box. Does not.
sorry, folks. I changed my setup and now we're back to this mode right now and my green screen's not working. So unless you want me to restart, we're just going to have a green background for now. Here we go.
Nothing but cause speculation. And it causes people to call in tips that don't mean anything.
This is another red flag statement. How does he know the tips they are receiving don't mean anything? And we actually saw in my series about Jen Soto, we saw Stephen Stearns make similar comments about, well, there's video, but it's not useful, or there's tips and evidence, but it's not helping us. In my video, How to Expose a Psychopath, And he is now being charged with her murder, with murdering Madeline Soto. And I thought that he did it even back a month ago when, it was still unclear. I also
Yes, if you're a true crime junkie, then you know all of these cases that he's bringing up right now, they're all relevant to this. So if you're not really into it, yeah, that's my favorite color too, that apple green color. That I used to have a Mustang that color, and boy, do I miss that. But anyway, on a different topic, listen, guys, we've been here. We're true crimers. We're doing research on this, and we know people don't disappear, and we know what it looks like when parents are hiding something. So, yeah, let's just trust in the process.
also think his girlfriend, Jen Soto, was involved. Why did I think that? One of the reasons was he was able to dismiss evidence so easily. So whereas Chris just said, all these tips don't mean anything, how would he know that? If he doesn't know what happened to Sebastian, how is he able to discount even the wildest tips? You would expect in some curiosity in the tips, because some of them might be correct, because as far as he's supposed to know, he doesn't know what happened. So we're starting to see some red flag statements. A, because this interview is actually allowing him to talk, unlike Nancy Grace and unlike the news reporter who he analyzed, where they continuously fed the responses to him or asked closed binary yes/no questions, which didn't allow him to elaborate.
Now, if anybody's on his side here, just put in the chat if you think that it's okay for him to talk to these ladies like that. These ladies that are helping. There's a private eye in here that's helping look for his son, his missing son that's been gone for 2 months, whether he's mad or upset about other people on the internet talking about him. Carl, do you think that you think it's okay for him to talk to a woman like that or anybody? So just let me know. That's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about this interview and him talking about her or talking to these ladies like that. And we're also analyzing how he's talking. So if you think it's okay, then go ahead and put that in the chat.
But here, Web Sleuth is letting him ramble on and doing it, I think, late at night while he's angry, which is great.
That you're taking sources away from the investigation because Joe Schmo down the street thinks that my family owns a cemetery. We own a funeral home. Like, where in the hell do you get up with this stuff? And
Okay.
not you. I'm saying the public.
And so that, Chris, that's why it is great that you're here, because we want to clear this up and help you get it out. And I'm going to tell you something, Chris, when it comes to the general public, they're always going to be calling in crazy tips and doing crappy things. And all we can do is say, that's not us. We are not doing that. But
It doesn't
And
matter,
I
though.
did want to
That
clear
does
it up.
not
Chris.
matter.
I
Doesn't
did want
matter
to clear
one
it up,
iota.
Chris. I
Chris?
did reach out to you on March 17th, publicly and privately. You responded to me publicly. You asked me to ask my question publicly. I did. You didn't respond. I reached out to you privately again. So I have reached out to you.
Where in the public? Where?
So it looks like Chloe and I are in the same boat. He's monitoring social media, but he's picking and choosing who he actually talks to.
I reached out to you on Facebook. I reached out to you on Facebook Messenger privately. You've never read my message.
Well, don't take this the wrong way, but a lot of the bullshit that I get in Facebook.
No, that's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
not-
I just want to make it clear that
Can I explain to you?
Yeah.
You send me messages along with thousands of other people.
I understand that. And that's why I took it public. And you did respond to me and asked me to ask my question publicly because you wanted whatever answer you were going to give to be public to clear it up.
What was the question that you asked me? Since I neglected your question.
And
What
that's not
was
what
the
I'm
question?
saying. That's not what I'm saying. I want to make it clear that I haven't.
So this is a little bit of, we're starting to see a lot of Chris's true colors here. The manipulations he uses. So imagine being Sebastian, right? An autistic stepchild of this guy. Earlier, he said Chloe never reached out to him and he held that against her. Now she's providing proof that she did reach out to him. And the goal.
Sorry about that, folks. We're still listening here. We're all together. The more cords you have, the more things go wrong. We'll get this right. All that matters right now is keeping this in the spotlight, and we're listening to this man rant. So I'm here, but I might go off camera for a minute.
Goalpost has moved. Well, you reached out to me along with thousands of people. I didn't read it. So even when he's wrong, he doesn't admit he's wrong. So he's stubborn, likely very chauvinistic. He continuously tramples over the women and interrupts them. And I haven't seen him do an interview with any men, which is typical of chauvinists, right? They're cowards deep down, just like Don Wells. That's why they never do an interview with me. Chris, I welcome you to do an interview with me. I'm sure you'll be sweet as a little lamb. And all this does not mean he's guilty. That's my main point. All of these things could just be contributing factors towards Sebastian wanting to run away and then having something terrible befall him. Or having an atmosphere of being very strict with Sebastian and, potentially borderline abusive to the point where they were engaging in reckless punishments, like putting him outside without shoes, when autistic children are known to run away from time to time. So that could be reckless. So it could be neglect, negligence, recklessness. It could be premeditated murder. It could be any of these things. But we can't zero in just yet. But we are starting to see some red flags that he knows something that we don't know. For example, when he's able to dismiss tips so easily. He's spending all this time on social media watching live feeds of people talking about him, but he's not opening up his messages. What if someone kidnaps Sebastian and they're sending a message to him asking for a ransom? He's not opening those messages. He's spending all this time on his computer or his phone, but he's not opening up every message. He's not asking any kidnappers out there.
Sorry, everybody. I'm glad you're still here. We have 682 people in chat. Thank you. That shows the love for me. Let's get that like button in. I didn't stop because of that. I stopped because I needed to fix these cord issues. And the more cords you have, the bigger the problem. Let's go, folks.
To contact him or talking to Sebastian through the camera.
Haven't not tried to reach out to you.
And Chris, I know you're mad. God, I can feel it. I can hear it, and I understand it. You've got to believe me when I tell you this. Please, if you can dial it back a bit and get us some of these answers and let us.
You hear that bad cat mommy over there? That cat is meowing and she's not helping it. I wonder if she's locking it up in the crate all day. Deception Detective is great. We love you. I can't wait for you to see this video.
Help you clear up this bull so it doesn't interfere anymore. And like I said, you're always going to have crazy people interfering and coming up with rumors, and it's so maddening and frustrating, and I hate it. It pisses me off more than anything, and anybody that knows me knows that.
It pisses you off? You're not in our shoes.
I know.
You haven't been in our shoes.
Okay, well, you don't know that, but I haven't been in your shoes and missing a child, no. But believe me, I can understand what you're going through, and what I'm saying is we can help you, Chris. We can help you.
So as far as the title of this video, do innocent people get angry workshopping a title like that? The fact of the matter is that yes, innocent people can be very unlikable. In fact, ingratiation is one of the signs of a deceptive or guilty person. And I'll read you that card, and then I'll go into my thoughts about Chris Proudfoot here while he's grilling web sleuths.
He absolutely is grilling web sleuths, which is the channel, but he's also grilling the PI, Chloe, who is helping look for his son that's been missing for over 2 months. Never on the face of earth in a million years would I ever talk to somebody that was helping me look for my child, or even if you were helping me look for my cat or my dog. I would never treat you like that, no matter under any circumstances. So something's not right.
Liars sometimes use excessive friendliness as a tactic to divert suspicion. If an individual becomes unusually polite when a sensitive topic is brought up, or in unexpected situations like emergencies, this behavior could be an attempt to deflect attention and avoid scrutiny. So I have the concept, the rule, and an example. In this case, the example is Casey Anthony, who was very polite during her 911 call reporting her child missing. So how does this apply to Chris Proudfoot? The fact that he is mean and not trying to ingratiate himself is ironically a good sign, because parents of actual missing children are unhappy with the police.
Yeah, Deception Detective is in here. He's absolutely right. If you've done something to your child, you're not going to be happy with the police. You're not going to be happy with the PIs. You're not going to ask them if they have any leads. He's nailing it, and he's in the chat. So everybody say hi to him, folks. We love him. He is absolutely one of my favorite channels, if not my favorite. I wish I could hang out with him. He seems like a cool dude.
Because every day that passes, as far as they're concerned, the police have not done their job. They've not found their kid. And when I analyzed Seth Rogers in the first video of the series, we saw that he didn't particularly ingratiate himself with the police. He said, they're doing good, but there's plenty more they could do. Right? The biological dad of Sebastian Rogers hit all the criteria of an innocent parent when I analyzed him. So the fact that Chris is not ingratiating himself is ironically a plus. However, if he is going beyond simply just not ingratiating himself to trying to shut down conversation about the case, that's different. Right? So not being overly friendly is not the same as shutting down conversation or being overly rude. And that's where you have to actually listen to the words they're using. So here he's displaying zero curiosity about any ideas or speculation or tips even. And he's belittling all these YouTubers he's watching for being clueless as to what happened and not knowing what happened. That is beyond just not being ingratiating. That seems to be him mocking them because he knows something that they don't know. And I think that lots of people who have asked me to cover this case pick up on that. And what I would like to do if I had the opportunity to interview him is figure out what he knows that we don't know. It doesn't necessarily need to be something incriminating or even about that night. So do innocent people get angry or have outbursts? Yes, they do. They can be very frustrating if you're innocent to be accused of something you didn't do. However, innocent people in reaction to that typically deny what they're accused of. So they're able to clearly deny it. No, I did not kill my son. Or no, I do not know what happened that day or that night. And then they furnish proof to support their claim. So for example, they deny it and then they might say, I will do a polygraph and then actually do the polygraph. Or I will turn over my phone to the police or provide whatever is needed to back up my claim. So just a denial without proof isn't particularly good, but just offers of proof without denial also isn't particularly good, even though it's a more sophisticated form of deception. And I covered Alan Dershowitz on the channel when he did that. So far, we haven't seen Chris deny anything or furnish any proof, but he is apparently trying to shut down the conversation. Right? He's trying to chastise these people for looking into the case. And in fact, he might be particularly sensitive about this particular feed.
Yeah, I think too many cords and a bad USB bar. I hope you guys didn't hear all that beeping.
Because the private investigator, Chloe, is on the feed, and that probably concerns him. And that might be why he's lashing out to try to scare her off. For example, when ISIS, back years ago, started cutting off people's heads and putting out those videos, lots of commentators said, wow, ISIS is getting powerful. Look what they're doing. They're sending out these videos. My opinion was the exact opposite. They're getting desperate. They're trying to telegraph their power rather than doing actual things. They're trying to stop people from coming after them by trying to scare them off. And I turned out to be correct. And it's the move of a coward. So he might be scared of Chloe. And the question is, why is he scared of that? Is he scared because she might uncover something embarrassing in his past, or because he actually has guilty knowledge about what happened to Sebastian on that night when he disappeared? That's the big $1 million question. And we're starting to see some red flags that are causing me to put a couple of chips on he actually does know what happened. And Chloe, if you're watching this, I'd also be interested in interviewing you, even if you just want to come onto the DD forum at forum.deceptiondeck.com so we could do an AMA with my audience.
All right. Anybody here in this chat that asked about the cemetery, it's because somebody else brought it up. Just tell us.
Exactly. And my question comes back to, where do these people come up with this crazy crap?
That's a $1 million question. I don't know.
Yeah, online.
Let's clear it up. Let's clear it up for you. Let us help you.
You're saying, I believe, Chloe, you're saying online. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm sorry. I said that. There's a lot of
Stacy.
crazy people online. And just to let you know, I understand you get a lot of messages. I reached out to you when Sebastian first went missing too to see if we.
All right. I have a suggestion for you people. And I hope this never happens. Yeah. Chill vibes only. Chris definitely took a page out of the Letitia book. He sounds just like her. He's rambling. He's making accusations. If somebody ever goes missing, please just tune out the bad things that are coming in. I'm doing my best here to do that. And I understand where he's coming from about it. Yeah, Chris is triggering that poor cat. I understand when he's getting mad about people saying things, but when you're looking for your kid or you're looking for your somebody, You gotta stay focused on them and not start attacking people. So in this community, you guys are doing great in chat. We've got some people saying bad things, and you guys are focusing on Sebastian and finding him and finding out what happens. And that's what he's not doing. And he's being very disrespectful.
We could help in any.
Another thing to pay attention to in these interviews is what does the person get sensitive about? Because whatever they're sensitive about, whatever they bring up as particularly, that's ridiculous, or that's crazy, I could never do that, right? Whatever they're trying to mock, they're probably doing that because that's the thing that's close to the truth. So he mentioned something about a cemetery or a funeral home. We should make note of that. He's constantly addressing Chloe, which is why I think that might be the reason he called into this particular one, because he's nervous about Chloe. And we saw lots of parents do this, right? The McCanns, the Ramseys, the Wells, whatever they bring up on their own to belittle is usually the path we should go down. It's kind of like if I call you purple, that might not hurt your feelings. You might not care to rebut me because you're not purple.
But I'm telling you.
Are you sure you guys aren't going to get mad if I call you purple? Let me see a couple comments. What gets me is Chris thinks he's privy to anything that the PIs find during their investigation. You're absolutely right. He's not privy to any of that. He's not privy to what the police are doing. And nobody's saying anyone's being disrespectful other than Chris Proudfoot. He's being very disrespectful to these women. I don't care if he's innocent or guilty. You don't talk to people like this, and you don't talk to people like this that are trying to help you.
Please let us help you, okay? We're not here to point fingers at you or whatever, but the problem is, and this is what we were talking about earlier, Chris, when the public is asked to help and then no information is provided, then people, because of social media, and social media is here to stay, unfortunately, this never used to be a problem, never, until social media, and it's terrible. I will be the first one to admit it's terrible. But let us help you clear it up, okay? So you don't own a cemetery and you don't own a funeral home, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, everybody, stop with that bullshit, all right?
Here, let me add this to the thing. We don't own a private plane. We don't own 78 pieces of property. We don't own a private yacht. What else do you guys want to come up saying that we own? Like we're...
So now he's throwing in a bunch of ridiculous things, right? So reducto ad absurdum. But he wasn't being ridiculous when he talked about the cemetery or burial ground. He brought that up as sensitive to him. Out of all the speculation online, that's the one that got him. So we need to look into that, actually, right? That's the irony of it.
Millionaires or something, like we've got this money growing off trees, which, by the way, it'd be great if we did, because I guarantee we wouldn't need anybody's help because he'd have been home by now.
Right, no, I understand. No, I completely understand. Okay, but understand when the public is asked to help with social media, this is what social media does. And it can be your
worst nightmare
or your best friend.
Yes. Yes.
And let us help it. And I can give you examples. I can have you talk to people that have said, yes, the people at Web Sleuths, they've helped us. They've been great. Okay. But hey guys, I understand why Chris is angry, because it's coming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Horrible crap about him. Okay. And his family. I get the anger. So we're going to help you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let my cat out before she drives everybody crazy. So I apologize. So hang on.
See, it took her a while to let the cat out too. The cats want in, the dogs want in, the dogs want out. Typically my dogs want in. They want me to pet them and they want to be on camera. Now we have 2 Yorkie mascots. So yeah, they either want in or they want out. And when we're filming, sometimes we got to wait because we don't want to be rude. But let that cat out now, because I think she hates Chris.
Chloe, is there anything you'd like to say while I let my cat out before she drives me nuts?
So she's really good as far as, I didn't go into this thinking it would be an interview technique video like I did with Nancy Grace or Dr. Phil or Piers Morgan or Chris Murdoch from the interview room. But Web Sleuths is really good. So I didn't analyze her technique much here, but she's great at de-escalating the situation and keeping Chris Proudfoot on the phone talking. And she's not guiding him. You'll notice, like Nancy Grace, she's not giving him binary yes or no questions or feeding responses to him. She's saying what she has to say to keep him on the phone.
I will ask the question. I'll actually read you the message I sent you. This was March 17th. Good afternoon, Chris. I wrote this in a chat you're involved with, but I'm worried it may be lost because there's so much chatter. First, let me say I'm a Tennessee private investigator and have been praying and actively bringing awareness to Sebastian from day one. His case is near and dear to my heart. I had a question. I know Sebastian went to his dad's every other weekend or so. Did you come home on those weekends? Not a specific date, but just in general. Or did Katie come and stay with you? Are you often gone during the week? Just curious about Sebastian's day-to-day dynamic with his parents. And then I messaged you again after I posted that question publicly. You asked me to post it publicly.
This is a great question. This is the $1 million question that we've all been speculating on. He could clear this up right now. We've all been asking, did he come home? Was he home before? During that 3-hour call, was he driving home? Did he leave his phone? What happened? Where was he? Why is he answering the questions? Let's see what he says.
Publicly, and
This is another wrinkle in the case that I've noticed. So while I think that Seth Rogers is innocent, right, the biological dad, because I analyzed him, I don't think he has any guilty knowledge. It's curious that Chris and Katie have zero suspicion about him. Sort of like how the McCanns had zero suspicion about their friends, right? Madeline must have been kidnapped. But as far as they don't know what happened, but yet they never suspected their friend Matt, who checked the room right before Madeline allegedly went missing. And these sorts of plot holes are often how we spot hoaxers and liars on the channel. Because even Hollywood blockbusters with multiple scriptwriters, editors, unlimited budgets, unlimited time to craft airtight stories still have plot holes. So when you have two parents who are under the gun, guilty, nervous, don't know what all evidence is out there, whatever stories they cook up typically have plot holes. And we saw this most recently in my Madeline Soto series, where it looks like the story between Jen and Stefan Stearns was scripted beforehand. And there were tons of plot holes. And now Stefan's going to go down because of that. And hopefully Jen does too. So what Chloe's asking here is a good question about Seth. My question would be, why do you not suspect Seth did anything? Just to see what they would respond. And her question here about, is it regular for you to leave town? That's a great question, because it could be that, let's say it's the only time he left town in the past 6 months. It's very convenient. That might be him setting up an alibi.
And I did, and then I wasn't answered. And I said, hey, Chris, just messaging again. So it'll be at the top. I know you said you get a ton of messages.
All right, so the thing here with Chloe, though, is she has the opportunity now to get him to answer these questions. She should be asking him them one by one, but instead she asked them all at once, so a compound question. And what people tend to do is when they're asked a compound question, they pick the one that's easiest to answer, and then they only answer that one. So if I were Chloe in this situation, I would say, what are your thoughts about Seth Rogers? And let him go from there, and then sort of zero in, allowing him to use his own words to.
Now remember, this is kind of a two-faced, underhanded thing that he just did here, because just a couple days before he went to the vigil and he says that it was nice. He walked over to the truck. He talked to Seth and he said, let's work together. Let's all work together and find Sebastian. We all love him. And now this underhanded, sneaky, two-faced man is now saying bad things. And he lied. He generally just, I believe, wants Seth out of the picture.
To explain to us why he has zero suspicion Seth might be involved. As far as he knows, they have no idea what happened to Sebastian. They can't conclusively rule out Seth, can they?
Messages.
And just in case you're here and you're not picking up on my tone, I personally, like I said, think Seth is not involved. I've analyzed him myself in my first video in this series. My point is, as far as Chris Proudfoot knows, Seth could be involved.
So, and again, when
the man speaking in this video is Deception Detective. He's amazing. He was in chat earlier. Say hi to him. Go to his channel, Deception Detective. He's got this card deck, and it gives you a bunch of information on people that lie. It tells all kinds of information on lies and manipulation, and it helps you to, well, it's called the Deception Deck. So go check it out, folks. 5 more memberships were just gifted by Karen. Thank you so much. Everybody is going to be a Crime Crew official. That means you can all see the that video that we did last night. And we got a lot more coming, folks. Carly says it, it happens.
understand that you get a ton of messages. We absolutely understand that. Is there somebody else in our chat room? I can't see it.
Heather.
Heather, do you want to come up? I guess she does.
I'm here.
Oh, she is? Okay. Oh, hi, Heather. I didn't see you there.
Hi.
Okay.
There's a lot of talk. I didn't really have a chance to say hello.
And this Heather is the other private investigator.
Yeah, I know who Heather is.
Okay. Heather, would you like to say anything?
So we're coming up on an hour, so let's.
Did you hear what he said? I know who Heather is. I think I nailed that. I know who Heather is. Man, dude, these people are helping look for your son, and you're going to talk like that? I don't know. Maybe he is drunk.
Do this. If you want me to continue this series, let's get this video to 50,000 views. On your screen now is my video about how missing information can cause people on social media to form conspiracy theories. It's called What Does Oversensitivity Look Like? It's one of my most underrated videos, but I personally think it's one of the best for understanding why omissions are the mothers of conspiracies. So please do give it a watch. Until next time, stay true. Why do I think that a run-of-the-mill manipulator is
All right, that is Deception Detective, folks. Let's see how my background looks. Oh, wow, now you can see all the stuff there. See if I can fix this real quick. Nope, not going to fix it. It's probably not going to fix today. It's okay. You can see my the real background. Now, check this out, guys. There's a bunch of people in chat here, and I think you guys want to see that video. And correct me if I'm wrong. I also want to get you guys to opt in for the gifts. We normally go a lot longer than, look at my hair now. It's okay. We normally go a lot longer than an hour and 16 minutes. So I love this. Bitch, I would love to be gifted. I'd love to gift you a membership. I hope you get it. Oh my God, Deception Detective's back in here. I'm fangirling here. Let's make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get me to 10,000 subs and Deception Detective to his 50,000 views on the video so that he can make more videos. So the people have spoken. There's 685 in chat right now. So we're going to watch. This is not my, thank you. This is not my, obviously, channel. I haven't watched her a lot, but everybody is talking about this girl. J is for justice. And since my name is Jay, I figure, hey, why not? J, let's hope she likes me enough to not kick me out or something like that. Let's take a look. Everybody, you guys want to see it. You're here. There's 666 people in here. I'm not superstitious, but I do think triple digits are a good number. All right, watch this, guys. I'm going to play it at full screen for you.
About the flashlights. Clear it. Just forget it. Just forget everything. All right, you guys, I'm going to make it crystal clear for you, okay? I'm going to play this video. I'm going to go full screen with it. And this is how we're going to do things. So I'm going to play it in its entirety. And I'm going to explain to you what you're looking at before I play it. Okay. And then we're going to play it again and talk about it. But I want you guys to watch and pay attention, not to the little lights that, we were looking at before.
All right. Pay attention, guys. She's going to explain it, but I want to explain it to you. And also, we were just gifted 20 memberships by Sarcasm for Fun. That means 20 more people in this chat. There's 677 people in here. That means you guys, 20 more people are going to get gifted. Okay. So Lori 626 says, this is the key. I want you to watch this. This is the Proudfoot's driveway. We're going to watch about 10 minutes of it. I'm not going to watch her whole stream. You guys can go over there when you're done and do that. But we love you, Jay, for justice. I don't know you, but we love the content that I'm watching right now.
But to that small section of lights up at the very top. People think it's the screen porch. I'm going off the theory that it could be the garage and the two lights on the side above both overhead garage doors. The side where Katie's van is parked, the side high headphones, the side where the garbage cans are. And what I want you to look at as we watch this, it zooms in and zooms in and zooms in again. Look at the silhouettes. Yes, with new eyeballs. Look at the silhouettes in front of the white lights. It's about to get bigger, so keep watching. Remember, this is a loop.
And I'm pausing it for a second so you could see what they're talking about. Instead of flashlights, we see the trucks in the driveway, and we see what we think are people. Forget the flashlights. Like she said, those are not flashlights moving around. We are going to look at 3 people and what we think are to be. So I'll let her explain, but I like to explain myself to you guys because I think we understand each other really well. Let's listen to her. It looks like 3 people. Look at that. I got it at full screen, guys. And she will zoom in more.
Yeah, this is what I call a ruckus. Keep your eye on the ruckus. There's a ruckus going on in front of these lights. It's about to get bigger, folks. Yeah, focus on the dark, not the light.
I'm going to pause it for a second. She's trying to show people. You can see the outlines, and it's going to get a little bit better here. And the only reason I'm playing this, folks, is because this blew up the internet today, and everybody's talking about it. So I didn't want the 700 people in chat to miss out on this in case you didn't see it today. I don't know what it means, but I'll let you think about it. And sarcasm for fun. You are amazing. You are my second time watching. You're welcome. Smash that like, folks. Make someone smile every day. Yes. That's what I do. Even if I'm going to get a Starbucks, I make them smile. I tell them they look good. I tell them I like their shirt. I tell them their hair's nice. Doesn't matter who it is, how they're dressed. I just like to make people smile. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. All right, watch these people, folks.
Just look at the silhouettes of the people, or what looks like people moving about. It looks like there's a ruckus going on. Yeah, look at the black, the silhouettes. Don't look at the light. Like that green, that's where the light is its brightest. That's where the light, okay, I'm going to pause it here for a second. What I see here, the green is a super bright light. Okay, that's just how the imagery picked up. It's just a bright light. The white around it is the glare.
That's a little confusing to me how she has all these, but what she's seeing is she's seeing a lady here. She thinks the lady with a bun. I see it a little different. I see somebody with a hoodie on for some reason, but she's saying that she sees 3 people. She'll outline in a minute and then we'll say our goodbyes. But I don't like to speculate, but if that's real footage, folks, that's important. That could be the crime being committed or a crime being committed.
Of the bright lights. You see another green up here. That would be another light where it's really bright. Okay, it's weird that they come up green, but they do. I see 3 images, 3 people. And I actually see on the left-hand side, I see what looks like someone with a bun or a ponytail or something. Then in the middle, I see what looks to be someone crouching down and then their arm reaching out, grabbing a third person who looks to be wearing a black shirt.
Look at that. It looks like people, guys. I had to show it because it looks like people doing something, man. I'm not into this conspiracy theory stuff, but this really got me this morning. I couldn't stop thinking about it either. I ran it by my mods. I got mixed signals, but I did it anyway. Yeah, you know what? You're right. This guy could have just nailed it right there. The breaks. You notice 3 different things happen. A hoaxer weirdo says he has Sebastian, a Photoshop picture of Sebastian, and now a video leaked. It's all a throw off. And you absolutely, Mister, this is the breaks. It could absolutely be correct. And crime and conspiracies. I saw the original. It looks like a garbage man throwing bags of garbage. The only thing is, it's at night. Garbage men don't come at night. Not in my neighborhood, they don't. Wow, another 20 memberships, guys. Thank you, Sarcasm for Fun. Killing it tonight. 685 in chat. I see 3 people too. Yes, I do. Look at that. 3 people moving around doing something, and it does look like they're taking out the trash.
Yeah, it looks like a woman on the left to me, like ponytail or... Yeah, the question is, who is it? It does look like someone's arm is going up and down like in a hitting motion, doesn't it? And I want to show you where I think this is coming from. This is just my theory, of course.
Right, and I don't know Jay for Justice personally, but when I saw this video, I'm going to show you this and where she shows that she thinks it's coming from, and then we'll stop from there. I don't want to dig too deep.
Okay, so if we go up Stafford Court, this is the Proudfoot's Road. Okay, here's the Proudfoot house right there, right? If we go down here, and remember all the trucks in the driveway? Okay, now I remember. All right, now we're going to go do. That's my zoom in noise. Do. There it is. There's the white camera.
I agree, folks. I'm never sold on video like that. I've been following the Brian Kohberger case. I don't need to do my research. I've done plenty of research, so I do need to do my research, and I have done my research. All I do 24 hours a day when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking about this stuff. I can't stop doing research all day long. So it does look like it could be a third party. I brought it here so I could get your opinion about this. I absolutely don't hold weight to this video. I just wanted to show my wonderful community. I love the Crime Crew Official. Everybody's handing out memberships. We're smashing that like button. We're having a good time. The Brian Kohberger case got out of control. They started showing videos of people partying and all this audio. It absolutely could be that. I wanted your opinion, so please don't insult me in my chat. If you insult me, I'm going to kick you out. All right? We're almost done here. You can say your comments, but no insults.
Let me circle that. And this is thanks to Potato's good eye. Okay, so your camera is going to be, and I can't zoom in any more than that. But do you see the little white camera right there? So if you take that camera, you would see all of those vehicles, right?
No, I did my research on her, Ava. I know who she is. I know she's been on. I know the things that she's done. I absolutely have done my research on her. My mods, my researchers have told me all about it. All I wanted to do was show that clip to my audience. I don't know exactly who you are, if you're even a subscriber or you're just coming to say things like that, but I've done my research. I know who she is. I'm well aware. Thank you.
And it's very far away when we watch it the first time, right? And there's no leaves on the trees, right? Could we be looking from the top of their driveway? Because here we're standing on the road. If we were to go all...
Yeah, I'm going to finish this up by just showing you where the camera is in the daylight. So you saw where the trucks were and where the 3 things that could absolutely be a hoax, guys. I'm absolutely not saying this is leaked surveillance footage. As a matter of fact, I would probably say more than likely it's probably nothing, because I think the police would have this, and I don't know why we would be seeing it. But for entertainment purposes, I'm talking to my crew about this. So let's see where that camera was, and then we could stop saying things that aren't so true.
All the way back there, we would be looking across here. across this way. Do you get what I'm saying? But I can't get into their driveway. I can't. This is the only, that's as far as I can get. But if we were up their driveway, you'd be able to see right across the yard from their camera.
All right. So on that note, you can see right here, you can see where the driveway is. The camera's here on the side, and we saw some stuff that we thought could possibly be some people doing something. We did see the flashlights originally, folks, and we all can agree that yeah, anything's possible. I just wanted to show that footage. Don't take what I'm saying out of context. Watch the whole video. All I did was want to just say that I saw that video. It blew up the whole internet today, and I thought I would share it. Yeah, this is a weird situation on what happened, that poor baby. And yeah, we just need to love each other and look for Sebastian. And really, I feel like people don't want it to stop. They don't want Sebastian's name to go away. The moment I stopped doing Sebastian videos, people are emailing me saying, why are you stopping doing the Sebastian videos? And I say, man, I don't have any new information. What am I supposed to do without information? Today we had new information, and guess what? I just wanted to show you the video at the end of that information just to get you guys thinking and going. And yeah, this is a drama-free zone. All opinions are welcome. Be respectful, not combative, unkind to those. We appreciate you keeping the chat positive. Thank you, Sarcasm, for fun. We're all looking for Sebastian. And what I think about the alleged sighting, well, I think if Mr. Sebastian was with a family member, I think somebody would know. And I think there would be an announcement. And I think that there'd still be a crime happening, because you can't hide a kid or anybody. You can't hide them and let people do all this work and let people use their resources. So either way, it's a crime. Hit that like button. I think there was like 60 or 70 memberships given out tonight, folks. So you guys can go on to my members only. Check that out. There's some content on there. My opinion, after 10 seconds, look at the latest Sebastian, the left leg sticking out, show up. Yeah, I think it's Photoshop too. I also think the case of Madeline Soto, I think that was a photoshopped picture of Stephen Stearns in the balloon. I am a graphic designer by degree, and I know what I see when I see Photoshop. So that's why I take that video with a grain of salt that was just shown right now. So yeah, absolutely. No, nothing's confirmed anything right now. The truth will finally come out. Thank you, girlfriend. It absolutely will. And I hope that we do find Sebastian, because if we find him, as long as he comes home, at this point, I'm not sure that he's still alive. I'm giving my opinion, and my opinion and the law enforcement and the people that are doing dives, would they be looking in the water for a kid that was alive, folks? Common sense and logic tells you that they're not going to look for a person in the water. So that's okay. That's all right. I just want to keep the content coming. Yeah, I don't know why people need explanations. Thank you. I love you. I love D, Mystery Obsessed, and all my Crime Crew officials. I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of nasty comments, but I'm not going to read them. I'm going to go hang out with my daughter. I'm going to go eat some dinner, and I'm going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to do Watts Wednesday, which means we're going to do Chris Watts. We're going to go way back. Remember, my channel is called Guilty of Crime. So those people that are guilty, serial killers, any killers. I actually want to cover Jodi Arias, that crazy, crazy lady. So many cases I want to cover, but I'm doing what you guys want. I'm trying to get missing children back with their parents. If they're not going to get back with their parents, I want to bring them home. There's so many cases we're working on. Elijah Vu, Madeline Soto, Sebastian Rogers, Sade Robinson, there's a list. I still have Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow. I can't even tell you all the cases I'm working on. So on that note, I love each and every single one of you, and the respectful ones. Please come back. Everybody that's new that got gifted memberships, I promise you it is worth it. There's way too many missing people out there, folks. I love you all. And I promise I'll get my issues here with the studio fixed very soon. Love you, Deception Detective, even if you're not here. On that note, love to you all. Peace out.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?